what we had said yesterday, and that is that we want to compliment President Colleton and Senator Radogna for their leadership in really making a great deal of progress. And the key to this is that every day and every week we believe we come closer and closer to a bargain, as it's been called, that works for the people of Illinois. I want to compliment Senator Colleton for realizing that the package was not complete and that we needed more time to digest and define what we need. As I said yesterday, many of the provisions that were in front of us we support, even those who didn't support it with their yes vote. But that the package yesterday was not a package that created jobs. It wasn't a package that worked for taxpayers, and it just generally wasn't right and complete in the framework in which we began this process. And so we appreciate the fact that Senator Colleton is cognizant of that. We appreciate his efforts as well as Senator Radogna's efforts, and we look forward to continuing this dialogue and hopefully in a way that moves more quickly, coming about with a solution that works for the taxpayers and for the people of Illinois. With that, I'd be happy to respond to any questions.
What about this business of the governor calling you senators in one by one and threatening you if you voted yes?
You know, let me ask Senator McConnaughay to respond to that.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. First of all, I want to say that I agree with Senator Brady's assessment of kind of where we're at. And I talked to the governor this morning extensively. And just to kind of give you some framework of that, I represent one of the suburban districts. Frankly, in my district, many of the communities are in some of the highest property tax communities in the entire country. So when we talk about property tax relief, which is a very big part of this program, and if you remember back to the governor's budget address, he talked about an element of this that's very important in districts like mine, and that is we have to have parity. If we're going to raise income taxes, we also have to provide property tax relief. And we're making a lot of progress in that discussion. As you remember, it was a talk about permanent property tax relief for permanent property permanent income tax. So a lot of the conversation has revolved around maybe we can look at different ways to get there. So I had an opportunity to talk to the governor about that. He asked a lot of good questions. He shares that same concern about ensuring that we make good decisions for the taxpayers of Illinois. If we're going to increase taxes in one regard, we have to find relief elsewhere. And I thought that he was very engaged and very supportive.
So no threats?
No threats at all.
Well, Senator Brady just said we salute President Colleton for realizing this cake is not baked yet or something. You know, it looks like the rest of you in the Republican caucus are letting Leader Radogna run out on the field by yourself, and you folks are staying on the sidelines or in the locker room. Yeah. How much of this is you folks, and how much is being driven by the governor saying, no, we need to hold out for more?
You know, Senator Radogna is to be complimented for her leadership. No one is running out on her. She's been a leader. She has negotiated a deal, and I think she's been pivotal in this process. But I think one of the reasons that caused for the delay today was that it's not already, and I want Senator Barickman to speak to part of that.
Sure, thanks. You know, one of the, in fact, what is proposed as Senate Bill 1 is a monumental shift in the way in which we fund our public school systems throughout the state. This has been an important issue for the governor. It's been an important issue for our caucus, and I believe it's an important issue for our colleagues on the other side of the aisle. Here we are tonight, dinner time, and we are not yet in an agreement on a final bill on that piece. In fact, we continue to draft that legislation tonight. I believe that legislation will be shared with each of the caucuses tomorrow. And so what's important here is that we recognize that this is not yet a done deal. We need to finalize these details in these negotiations. Obviously, we want to make sure that we get it right, but we need to finish it. We need to finish those negotiations. The Senate Bill 1, the education piece, is not yet there, and so as it fits into the context of 13 pieces of legislation, this is a very important piece that needs to be complete before we take any action on the totality of those pieces of legislation. Sorry.
Let me just conclude by saying that there were three key pieces to the framework of this solution. One was that we have a balanced budget. Two was that we have property tax relief for the taxpayers of Illinois. And three was that the people who grow jobs in this state were comfortable with this package. And with that, I'd like to recognize Greg Bays, who's head of the Illinois Manufacturers Association. Greg, if you want to come forward, and if you have any questions for Greg, if you don't, that's fine, but I just wanted to recognize those are the three key principles to bringing this in for a solution, and that's what we're driving for. And every day that we negotiate, we get closer and closer to that.
What specifically is the holdup now? I mean, it seems like we could go on endlessly, and Democrats say no permanent property tax raise, right? There's always going to be something that we didn't quite get what we wanted, they didn't get what they wanted. What's the holdup?
The holdup is we've just described a number of specific issues that we are still working out the details on. You think about the amount of various issues that we are taking on in a comprehensive package, it is no wonder that it takes a while to get there. I think we're very close. I think we're very close indeed. But I think that there are some key issues. Senator Barickman talked about education. I talked about property tax relief. We do have a balanced budget that everybody in the state of Illinois cares about. Making sure that businesses want to stay in Illinois and come to Illinois is an important part of the commitment we've made to getting the right deal. It takes time. So it's not evidence that anybody's walking away or that the governor's been heavy-handed with us. We know what we need to get for the districts that we represent, and we're working with our leader and with Cullerton and the Democrats to resolve those differences. That's what the give and take of this process is all about.
President Cullerton suggested earlier that the ball is in the governor's court. How does your caucus want input from him at this point? I mean, how much do you want him at the table?
Well, the governor's the chief elected official of the state of Illinois, and at the end of the day, he needs to be involved. We've welcomed always the governor's input, and we continue to seek his advice on this, and we will work with him and Senator Colton. But we believe that a key to this framework is to continue to work with the Senate Democrats and Senate Republicans to craft this solution. There's no question in our mind that the governor's input is valuable.
Leader Redonia was apparently willing to vote yes on everything today. Are you saying that she's ceded too much ground to Democrats in the name of, getting this done?
Don't answer for her.
I don't know what your question was.
She's the only yes vote on any of this.
I mean, the leader made a statement today. I think none of us can speak for the leader, but I think we're here tonight supporting our leader and emphasizing the fact that there tonight is not yet a deal that should or can be voted on. I gave you the example of the education piece, not yet final, and that it's our belief, and I think the belief of members of our caucus, that we need to put forward a comprehensive set of 13 bills that are a good bargain for taxpayers, that include a balanced budget and allow our state to take that important step forward here. And that's what we're committed to doing. Thank you.
Thank you.